In today's episode of Script and Style, David and I check in on our progress during the lockdown. Welcome to the Script and Style Show, the web show where we talk about web development with the people that make it happen. Today's episode is brought to you by TrackJS JavaScript error monitoring. Know when errors hit your website with the context to find and fix bugs fast with TrackJS. Start your free trial today at trackjs.com. Welcome to the Script and Style Show, everybody. I'm Todd Gardner from TrackJS JavaScript error monitoring, and my co-host David Walsh, creator of the popular blog davidwalsh.name. How's it going today, David?
My traditional answer is well. I'm not going to give that answer today. As you saw before we started this, I'm a little bit of a mess right now, and so I'm okay, but not great. But I'm glad to hear that you're well.
Yeah, everything's okay. Look at this. Everything is fine. Don't worry. I have for our audio listeners, I've been playing with Zoom backgrounds. Every conference I do a different background, and today's is the opening of A Good Place, which is a fantastic television show if you're looking for something to watch, and it has this amazing opening where you wake up and you're on the couch and a big sign on the wall is "Welcome. Everything is fine." And it's peaceful. Everything will be fine. Don't worry.
That's good. That's a good influence for you. I like that. So we were talking about what we should talk about today, and we decided we're going to do a little short one. It's been a month since we've been sort of put on COVID lockdown. And I thought, a month ago we talked about strategies for coping, ways to learn, just sort of general how to keep yourself going. And so I think it's important that we check in. It's been a month. This month has felt like a year, at least for me. So I thought we'd just check in, see how everything's going. So I guess I'll start with you.
Yeah, well, no, I think we should start with you. You have a whole getup going on. Like you're in incognito mode. You're wearing like mirrored shades and a beanie hat and a scarf, and like it's like you're hiding from the world right now. Like,
I kind of am.
Like, what is up, man?
Okay. Well, there's a million things going on, right? First of all, I have a sore throat and a headache, but I'm dedicated to the pod, so I'm fighting through it. But I'm not gonna lie, the sunglasses are a massive help. And hopefully the scarf keeps my throat nice and warm and we get over this pretty quickly. The other thing is that I've been letting my kids pick out my outfits every day. And listen, if you've looked at my Twitter feed, some days are better than others. They've got some wild style, but they're excited about it, so I'm excited about it. What I'm mostly excited about right now, I don't know, see, only our video users can look at it, but I can't stand up enough. TrackJS sweatpants from you, sir, are outstanding.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a fun lockdown thing since nobody has to wear office wear pants anymore. Let's get everybody new to working from home some comfy pants.
Yeah, totally comfortable, great color, and they have the Mrs. Walsh blog seal of approval. So you've done well. You've done well. They're very nice. Thank you so much for that.
Good.
You've got me covered. You've got the website covered. It's amazing. But yeah, anyways, so how am I doing?
Yeah.
I would say all of the advice that they give you during this time and all of the advice that we talked about a month ago, I'm doing it all wrong. It's all wrong right now.
Well, that's okay. I mean, nobody needs to just be killing it right now. It's just getting through the day and maintaining yourself and your family is that's all that anybody expects right now.
Here's the thing. I'm not maintaining myself right now. That's the issue, right? And so they're like, oh, go out, go for a run, go for a bike ride, exercise, eat well. Not doing any of those things very well right now at all. Eating too much, probably drinking too much, not exercising very much at all. I feel like I'm sinking into things of comfort, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like overindulging in things that are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I know that after a month, I need to break away from. Probably, yeah, like video games is part of that. Too many video games, too much watching TV. Like in the first week or two, I was very much excited, like, ooh, all the dishes are done all the time, all the laundry's done all the time, clothes are toys picked up, blah, blah, blah. I'm sort of getting to the part where I'm starting to care less about that. Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. It's probably why I'm getting sick. I don't know. I'm sort of a mess right now. How about yourself? What's the current state of you, except for, or outside of everything is fine?
I'm just trying to like, I've always been my own harshest critic, and I'm trying to just kind of like let myself be okay with getting done whatever I get done. And I'm definitely feeling some of the same, like overindulging in some games, overindulging in some probably some alcohol, to be perfectly frank. But I'm still getting a fair amount of work done. I'm still working every day. We're still doing request metrics, which I've talked about on the show previously. We record every day at 1 with my team. So that's going pretty good, and we're releasing 2 videos a week. Which, I mean, we'd like to go faster, but there's just too many outstanding problems in the world to like go faster, and that's okay. Overall, I feel pretty good about it. I wish I could do more. I wish I had like the motivation to like use the time to learn another language and stuff like that. Instead, I'm using the time to play Minecraft with my kids and drink beer. That's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. That, first of all, that sounds really cool. Playing video games with my kids is something that I've been able to do, not Minecraft, but Rocket League, which they're super excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the problem with that is that Rocket League is in my office, and when they leave, it's like a tornado was in here. But yeah, it sounds like you're doing pretty well, and that you're getting through it. I think that I haven't been good at letting myself, like, I judge myself for not getting enough done or not being business as usual. I think the one thing that you and I have in common throughout this, however, is that sort of sinking yourself into work, or at least trying to stay productive as usual at work, is a good place to rest your mind and a good place to build confidence and feel good about yourself. So like, I've been able to roughly do my same 8-hour day and get a fair amount done. I'm trying to do more pair programming and video conferencing just to see people, just to get good feedback, just to throw some banter around.
Mm-hmm.
But I've found work to be a really good place for me to not be distracted with other stuff, and just know that for that period of time, I don't have to think about too much else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's definitely a correlation for me between my overall mood and how well I stick to my routine. Like on the days where I work and I got up on time and I ate lunch on time and I did what I would have done on a normal day, my overall anxiety levels are way better. Whereas when I just kind of like let it go and sleep in and eat lunch at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and just be all over the place, my anxiety on those days is super high. And so I've been trying, I don't know if that's correlation or causation, but
right, I was going to ask, is that a consequence or is that?
But I've been trying to like hold myself to more of a routine, and I feel like that is helping.
Yeah, routines are good throughout, whenever things are going bad, or I should say whenever there's an external circumstance. I feel like when you mention anxiety, I think that it's really odd for maybe someone like you and someone like me who works from home all the time. And, you know, before all this happened, we used to banter that like we don't leave the don't leave the house very often. I think it's weird how difficult this can still be for someone like you or I, if that makes sense, right? If you're someone that goes into the office every day, and is hustling around, driving around and stuff, it would seem like a good respite to work from home. You know, you don't have to deal with the hustle and bustle. You get some of your time back, so on and so forth. But even I've noticed in some of my colleagues who regularly work from the office, that they're really not enjoying this at all, right? And you can understand that. But in a way, it's sort of difficult for me to understand why this bothers me so much on a personal anxiety level, right? Like I have anxiety for some of my friends who can't go to work, right? I have anxiety because I know that my kids like their classmates and they're not going to be able to finish first grade in the classroom, if that makes sense. So I get like how they'd be upset, and I sort of feel for them. But for me, I'm having a hard time cutting myself slack for feeling differently when the impact on my day-to-day isn't that big.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It is. I understand that as well. But I think I have some insight into that, or at least I have opinions on that. I don't think, because like I'm in the same situation, right? Where if objectively my day-to-day life has not changed that much. Like I do the same kind of work. I am going to the same office. There's the same people here, etc. But there's a few key differences. First, like my kids are here, and so that's like I have some anxiety and nervousness for them, both, you know, what's going to happen with their lives as well as, you know, just interruptions and stuff like that. And then I think the bigger issue is just the bombardment of like big news all the time. Like every day there is something. There is a new report. There is a bailout. There is a market injection. There is a new terrible thing has happened somewhere. And it's more that for me. That's just like exhaustion of events.
Yeah.
So like I'm still here, but like honestly, I have news feeds and market charts and Twitter and like stuff open all the time that's just distracting that normally I wouldn't care about, because normally, you know, the world is fairly boring and unidirectional, but like now it's just all over.
Yeah, for me, Twitter's like the worst thing right now. And before this, it was all, you know, you were worried about trolling or these artificial arguments that you like regularly wouldn't care about that end up getting you worked up. I think for me, it's seeing the factual stuff with regard to numbers and people affected and how long this could drag out. That's really sort of putting me in a spot where I don't want to leave the house. So I know that that's something that I need to do better, is essentially stay off Twitter. But the other part of me feels like by doing that, it's sort of an ignorance is bliss type feel, right? Like numbers are numbers, and it's good to know certain things. And so that's where I want to do better. But for me, it's like not putting your phone next to your bed at night. You know you're going to grab your phone if you can't fall asleep or something, and you shouldn't, but you don't want to leave it downstairs because you might get a call in the middle of the night that you need to, like, there's been an emergency, right? It has a little, like, Twitter and the news has that feeling for me. I don't want to just ignore it, but it does increase my anxiety. And so that's, I don't even know what to do about that.
Yeah.
But again, it's something to live with. And in the end, I'm a lot luckier off than, the people who can't go to work at their restaurant or, anywhere else.
Yeah.
And so I think that is one spot where I recognize it and feel lucky, and it actually brings down some of my anxiety level a little bit.
Yeah. In general, positions in tech, we are incredibly fortunate in the current set of events that even for listeners on the line who may have been laid off in this, for every tech layoff I've seen other companies desperately trying to snap those people up.
Right.
And so I think we'll be fine. I think we're all going to get through this together, and it's not going to be this end of the world thing that people thought it was going to be. I think we're going to be fine. We just got to get through it. It'll just be a couple more weeks.
I needed this, Todd. For those listening, I have a black couch in my office, black leather couch, and I feel like I should be laying down on it, and like I should be paying you an hourly fee to talk me down from the ledge every week. But yeah, we'll get through it. It's tough. I think it's a long way away. What's the one thing that you miss the most? Because mine is ultra obvious, but I have to hear from you first.
What do I miss? I miss having options, I guess. It's not that I want to go out. I miss restaurants. That's what I miss. I miss restaurants. My wife and I, really like food, and by that I mean like going out and like interesting, good food that like different chefs make and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I really miss that. Takeout's not the same. Like,
no,
it's the food's not the same quality, and it doesn't
atmosphere.
Yeah, it's not the same as bringing home. And I mean, we still do takeout from like some of our favorite places to keep them going. But it's just not the same. And that's what I miss. But we'll have it back soon enough.
Sure. I miss live sports. I realize what a loser I am every weekend when there's nothing to watch on TV, and I sit there and go, what do normal people do? Like, what do non-sports loving people do on the weekends? Because my day is just full of it. And now I've got nothing. I can't even watch Turkish first division soccer right now because it's all locked down. Like, give me something. And watching the old replays, just not the same. So that's what I'm excited to get back. I'm hoping there'll be an NFL season. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I missed that.
All right. Well, so let's wrap it up there for today. In summary, we're all okay. You're all okay. We're going to get through this together. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
My takeaway is that I always think sometimes that ignorance is bliss, and you sort of want to be that idiot that's just walking around like, it's not going to get me, blah, 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 blah. But I'm excited. My takeaway is that I'm glad to be able to not just recognize, but say out loud that I'm struggling a little bit, but I know that I'll get through it, and I have to. That's my takeaway.
All right. Good deal. All right. So thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next time with a more relevant topic, hopefully. All right. Until then, I'm Todd H. Gardner.
I'm David Walsh Blog. See you next time.
The Script and Style Show is recorded and produced by David Walsh and Todd Gardner. We'll see you next time on Script and Style.